HytaLle is a game that combines the scope of a sandbox with the depth of a roleplay game, or so it was supposed to. The amount of time it's taken to rework the engine, along with the lack of investment for HytaLle, has led to the announcement of the game's cancellation by the CEO Noxie on June 23rd, 2025. And if you guys know me, you guys know that I'm probably one of, if not the biggest HytaLle fan in the world, and you might be a little confused to why I did not make a video on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or even Friday about talking about HytaLle and my thoughts and opinions about it. There's two reasons why I didn't. One is because I work in HVAC at the moment. That is currently my job, and it has been the hottest week in the past 8 years combined in Canada. So I've been working crazy hours and I just haven't had time to make a video. And two, I did not think this was going to be the end of the story. If nothing came out about a possible revival for HytaLle, I would have made a video this morning regardless, but today I'm going to be talking about not about HytaLle being cancelled. I'm going to be talking about if HytaLle has a chance to revive, and there are some very interesting tweets by the former CEO of Hypixel Studios and current CEO of Hypixel, Mr. Simon, that lead me to believe that there is a glimmer of hope in the community. Speaking of community, the power of this HytaLle community is absolutely insane. Never have I ever seen a game community react to anything just like this. This kind of reminds me of when the Sonic trailer came out, and then the first Sonic trailer came out and Sonic had those really dumb eyes, and the entire world just got onto Twitter and just started ripping into whatever that movie studio was to give him a design, and they literally remade the entire graphic design department for that Sonic movie, and now it's still in, so that's pretty cool. If you take a look at the Google trend for HytaLle, you can see right now that the trend is almost as high as it was once the trailer dropped back in late 2018. Right at the moment, I don't know how people were getting it was higher than what HytaLle was in 2018, but currently, in 2018, HytaLle was at a solid 100 out of 100 on Google Trends, and right now, I'm looking at this as we speak, HytaLle in June 2025 has a value point of 79 out of 100 in the interest over time graphic on Google Trends. And that's not just all because of the cancellation. Yes, that's obviously the big news that everybody's talking about, but that is because the entire community has just taken Twitter by storm and has used the hashtag #SaveHytaLle and has talked about HytaLle and has given all their thoughts and opinions about HytaLle. You can see everybody's YouTube videos are getting hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views talking about why they love HytaLle, talking about how much HytaLle meant to them, and talking about the cancellation. And now you see other YouTubers going on to Twitter like Tubbo. We have Preston, who is a Roblox creator. We have In the Littlewood, Ant Venom, a bunch of creators. They have probably over 10 million subscribers combined talking about HytaLle. And that is what's got the community absolutely going. And it has also got the former CEO of Hypixel, Simon. He's the one who sold or left HytaLle back in 2020, gave it over to Noxie. Noxie became the CEO once the whole Riot acquisition happened as well. But Simon has been tweeting out some very, very interesting things recently, and I just want to cover that. So this all started with a post from Owl Official, or Owl. I've seen him around on Twitter, him and her around on Twitter, and this person said, "Hey Simon, I think I speak for the entire HytaLle community when I say that HytaLle can't be cancelled. It was a game with infinite potential. Wouldn't there be any possibility that together with Riot, you could partner with the former team to revive the Legacy engine?" Just say, for example, you're new here and you don't know what the Legacy engine is. The Legacy engine was the game that HytaLle was originally supposed to be before they announced that delay, leading it to go to a brand new engine and fully cross-platform in 2022. So basically, the trailer and everything you've seen up to 2021 has been all Legacy engine content and gameplay. So really the game that all of us fell in love with was the Legacy engine. Nobody really asked for this new engine where they're going to go cross-platform. So Simon did reply to that Owl tweet saying, "I have not seen the game since 2019, so it would be hard for me to know if it's worth looking into. It seems like a chapter is truly closed. I do have the money to run a 30-people team for a while, but they were over 150, not so sure what kind of beast it has become to handle." So Hugo replied to that saying, "I think there is a very real opportunity here to look into buying back the IP, if it's not crazy expensive, and getting a couple of OG developers back in to get the real HytaLle released. 30 people, just like in 2015 to 2018. And if you didn't know, that's how many people were really working on the game when it was not announced or anything back before the trailer dropped. Hugo said, "The original version is the game it was meant to be. And Simon replied to that saying, yeah, well, would be a massive undertaking. Not sure I want to take that responsibility. Would need to open source some parts like the tools, etc., which I guess is always a good thing. And anything that would be spent on buying the IP would be draining the funding of the game, so it's a little bit difficult to deal with. So this thread still continues with Tubbo. If you don't know who Tubbo is, he does Minecraft YouTube. He said, make a Kickstarter right now. Simon replied to this saying, Tubbo, don't bully me into buying it. I'm living a good, peaceful life. Then Tubbo replies saying, all I'm saying is that the community is very passionate about this project. And Tubbo, you nailed the head on that one, dude. Like, the community is probably the most passionate community I've ever seen. And the response to that was probably one of the biggest hopes and dreams of the Hytale community since, I guess, the trailer dropped or whatever. I don't know. But, like, everybody was dead in the water before this tweet came out from Simon. And Simon said, I get it 100%. Look, I'm even down to put $25 million US by myself to finish Hytale. That's how much I believe in it. No Kickstarter, just raw passion, high pressure, and high risk taking. Reduced scope, legacy engine, PC only first, open source some parts, small team, cut and finish features to accelerate towards beta. Get players in ASAP to support development. That is exactly what HytaLle should have done with the other engine before, if they were even close. Who knows? I've even already have a dozen of Hytale legacy engine veterans working with me. Perfect, easy to bring them back. That's what I would do, but I have not reached out. I'm just thinking about it now because of the bullying. Haha. This would be a massive challenge and impact all aspects of my life, so I would need to consult with my family first. Which that makes complete sense from Simon. Obviously, you don't just put $25 million into just anything. So obviously, he's got to have time to think about this. And who knows when Simon will make his decision. But I do have a little bit more news to talk about that a little bit later on in the video, which could potentially, in quotation marks, lead to him purchasing Hytale back. And also, on behalf of the community, like I said, Simon, 100% this is going to take a lot of time for you to make this decision. So obviously we're not pressuring you to do it, or we're not pressuring you to do it fast or whatever. So please make the decision you think is right. Obviously, if you don't think it's worth buying Hytale back, which I think is the wrong decision, by the way, don't do it. But I think Simon has, I really think Simon has or wants to repurchase Hytale and get this game out. So we'll have to see. So in response to that Simon tweet, obviously that got the Hytale community absolutely going. I've never seen more people in voice chat, in whatever, like TeamSpeak. Speak it up, TeamSpeak. Shout out TeamSpeak. I love TeamSpeak. They're literally like, they're responding to all this. TeamSpeak, one of the goats, obviously. But yeah, people were in so many different voice calls. Like, this is like post-trailer, post-delay 2021 levels of like talking about Hytale right now. People like Ant Venom. Ant Venom replied to this tweet. If you don't know who Ant Venom is, he's a Minecraft YouTuber. An old OG veteran Minecraft YouTuber from back in the day. And I don't know if he's still doing Minecraft. I haven't watched him in years. But he said, assuming the personal challenges aren't too great, I would absolutely love to see this project come to fruition. I loved everything I saw with the legacy engine. If development had maintained down the path of the legacy engine and the team had remained fired up about the project to its completion, and if it had continued development quickly, I firmly believe that Hytale would absolutely have given Minecraft a run for its money from day one, and I wholeheartedly agree with that statement. Martin in the Littlewood, another Minecraft YouTuber, replied to this if you don't know who he is. Like I said, another Minecraft YouTuber, and he's always been in the loop with Hytale, so shout out Martin. Like I said, TeamSpeak gutting in this, just trying to spread the word. Mr. Preston over here, if you don't know who Preston is, I totally didn't think it was Preston Place, but this is Preston from the Roblox community. Plenty of followers. Tyron, the creator of Vintage Story over here, he's also on board with saving Hytale, along with obviously every single member of the community who I've seen for the past 7 years. We are all getting on this, and it is so awesome. I want Hytale so badly, and I know all of you do, and the hashtag Save Hytale propaganda is honestly some of the coolest things I've ever seen a community do on the internet. So going back to the news, this was yesterday, June 27th, 2025. Nurwi, I think I pronounced that right, who is one of the Orbus Podcast hosts, shout out Orbus Podcast, another amazing Hytale podcast, obviously not the Hytale Podcast, which might have to make a return, one of the Orbus Podcast hosts, tweeted out, so Nurwi tweeted out this is Hytale Legacy, and no, they're not animations. By animations, he means it's not like CGI making a video, it's actually people fighting in-game. And under that tweet, Simon, who doesn't really reply to a lot of tweets, might I add, replied with this, saying, "Looks great." And he did not have to do this. I think at the moment Simon is kind of slightly teasing that he will most likely be buying or trying to find a way to partner or maybe make an investment group to repurchase the IP of Hytale. But Simon, like I said, he doesn't really reply to things like this. If you ever follow him on Twitter, which I haven't done like a lot recently because, like I said, he stepped away from Hytale back in like 2019, 2020, but I know he doesn't really reply like this, so that's very cool. So now we're going to get on to probably the biggest news of yesterday. And this happened around like 11 p.m. I guess last night. So I was watching the NHL draft. I came home late I was hanging out with my friends. We were watching the draft, playing a little draft lottery game. But you guys probably don't care about that. But right now, Simon updated his profile picture and his bio on Twitter. And he actually lost his verification mark. That's just what happens when you have to resave your bio. I think it's got to like re-verify that it's like not hacked or something. I don't really know exactly what it does. But this profile picture that Simon put on his Twitter was one of the profile pictures he had back in, I believe this was like late 2019, early 2020, back when he was still in position of purchasing Hytale, or it was maybe just after he left, or maybe after he just left Hytale. This is kind of like, I don't know, I said this in the group chat yesterday or in High Circle. This is kind of like a limbo profile picture. And if he goes back to an even older profile picture, that would mean, I mean, it seems like he's kind of going back in time right now, Simon. I don't know why he personally would do this, but it's quite intriguing considering all the news that's kind of going on with Hytale and Simon at the moment. And another really big thing is Simon's profile, and only one word changed in all of this, and it is on the final line where it says, "Sold my Hypixel Studios Hytale in 2022 Riot Games." 2 days ago, that sold, in quotation marks, my was not there. The word my, M-Y, was not there. It just said sold Hypixel Studios to Hytale in 2022 Riot Games. I don't know what that could mean. But if I know anything from Hytale, it's that we should not read into the tea leaves. But that's exactly what I'm going to do. Why would Simon, the man who said he would put $25 million of investment, or if not even more, into Hytale to revive it, why would he change his profile picture back to what it was around the time when he left the Hytale team? And why would he say that he sold my Hypixel Studios Hytale in 2020 to Riot Games? I don't know. That is the $1 million question right now. And if you have any idea what it could mean, does it mean did he put my Hypixel Studios because he already repurchased it? That's a possibility. Did he put that there as a statement of intent? I don't really know. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As I'm editing the video, Simon replied to his 100% I want to invest, or I'm even looking to put down $25 million to Hytale himself reply, saying, "To clarify, it would require a lot less money to get something that could be released in a very early access with temporarily removed features. We could just get the community involved ASAP in modding, bug reports, feature requests, crowdfunding, and find ways to share open sourced with cash boundaries to speed up production and keep the team relatively small." Oh my god. That's huge. This literally happened 2 minutes ago. I was just scrolling through tweets. Guys, please, this is important. Keep your expectations extremely low, because usually when large companies shut down a project like this, the chances of revival are next to impossible. Yes, I made a decision. I will do my best to save Hytale, even if it's a 1% chance. It is the least I can do to save the community that gave me the opportunity to be where I am today. I will reach out. However, it will take a while. Give it some time. It will take months to get answers and months to get it done. I will share as much as possible as I go through the process. Oh my god. Simon is actually trying officially to save Hytale. This is unbelievable. I think Twitter's going to absolutely eat this up. I can't believe I got this in the video. That is awesome. And if you guys also want to help save Hytale, there has been plenty, I mean plenty of opportunity. There are a bunch of GIFs, a bunch of tweets, a bunch of videos out there, a bunch of pictures that you can all repost, hashtag save Hytale on Twitter. Spread the word out. We are trying our absolute hardest to save this game that we have loved since late 2018, and it would absolutely destroy me if I never get the chance to play this game, and if I don't ever get to play this game, and this is all just a big a whole bunch of nothing and Simon doesn't end up buying the game, I want to just say a huge thank you to everybody in the HytaLle community who has supported me over the last 7 years. It has been an absolute wild ride, and I literally could not think of a better community to be a part of. And if it never flourishes to nothing, then, well, I'll always be around. I don't know what I'll do with this channel, but with that being said, I'll definitely have to have time to think about it, and I will make another video, obviously, regarding all of this HytaLle stuff, because it's absolutely insane. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe, join the HytaLle Save HytaLle campaign Discord. Links in the description down below. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.